What up, party people? Welcome to Talk to Talk. I'm your host, John Pappas, with your other co-host, Steve Hanlon, and we are live doing episode 14 of Talk to Talk. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Big Steve. What up?
What's happening, y'all?
It's been a crazy week for you, crazy week in the news, crazy week for everybody. It's heading towards summer. It's heading towards baseball season.
It's rained for like 3 straight days, but we need it. The grass is thirsty.
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Speaking of thirsty, do you like my new mask?
What's going on with that thing, dude?
I got it at praiseandworship.com.
Did you really?
Yes, it's anointed.
Wow. Is it anointed?
Yes.
Well, slap me across the head because I need some of that. Hey, Fauci said that we could take our masks off, so now you got a permission. You can do that.
But then our president said we can't.
President who?
Biden.
Oh.
So throw us a few more curveballs, y'all.
He's had a great first 150 days, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't live in Israel.
I'm glad I don't live in Texas. Gosh.
It's like, whee!
It's like you couldn't even get gas to get away from all the illegals coming across the border that are...
you can't say illegals. They're humans.
Oh, they are humans.
Who are illegal, but we have 100,000 just...
I saw a post yesterday, dude. Gas... Somebody posted there's gas at a gas station, a line of people down the road in their cars waiting that are pulled over. $7.77 a gallon.
Is that for Striper? 777.
777. Yeah, that's an inside joke for sure right there. But
there's a Striper fan out there somewhere.
But
a couple of us still alive.
They're still jamming. But listen to this. There's a picture of a guy. Remember when we had the toilet bowl, toilet paper controversy? I got this big spot.
Last year, COVID paper?
Yeah, we couldn't get it. There was a guy with a van with the back open that had bought like 20 gallons, 5-gallon things of gas and was just sitting there filling them up at $7.77 a gallon, dude. Can you imagine it's like a Walking Dead episode, man. Like, what in the crap is going on?
But that's what, just so people are clear, that's what the extreme left, not all on the left, but the extreme, they want us to ride donkeys.
I do.
Around town.
No, they don't, because donkeys fart.
That's true. No donkeys,
No
but
donkeys.
Electric cars. They want to kill petroleum. And you know what? For me, I look forward to the day we're not polluting. But we're not there yet. That's the whole thing. Most people agree with moving to a more clean energy for transportation. I don't know anyone who isn't in favor of that. The problem is we're not there yet. Okay? We have you can go 6 miles on your battery-operated car. Well, that's helpful.
Yeah.
The technology has improved a lot. We're not there yet. So
hey, I'm all for it if it lowers prices at the house. Right? You know what I mean?
Well,
but
the electric
where's
car
that infrastructure? They're gonna have to start building new subdivisions that are green, I guess. And
that's coming.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie. It's like the vaccination. I ain't lining up to be the guinea pig on that either. I just heard there's a scientific experiment that mouses were talking to their doctors, and they're like, hey, we want to get you guys vaccinated. And they're like, well, we're waiting for the human trials first to come back. And so, yeah,
Hey, guess what I just got?
Oh.
My first copy of the Junction 715, Wicked Little Ways.
Come on.
I think I know someone in that band.
You turn that sucker around, you can see a handsome young man.
Can I get an autograph?
No. That's an extra $500.
Check it. This is really good stuff. I mean, did Edgar Allan Poe sue you guys for getting the crow on the cover?
I know.
Good stuff. Where can you get this?
You can get it on any digital platform that is out there right now. Digital platform, meaning iTunes, Amazon, Deezer. Pick one. Napster, all the digital stuff. You can get it on TikTok. You can get it on YouTube. You can go to our YouTube channel, Junction 715, and listen to it for free. I mean, it's amazing.
It's good stuff.
But if you put us on your playlist, it helps the band get some funding back for all the stuff that we put.
Playlist, y'all. Put them on the plate.
Yo, hey, speaking of good players, good playlists, and good times, we have a little special thing that happened this week. You want to tell us what you were doing this weekend, Steve?
Let's watch the video first. What do you say?
Okay, so here he is. Look behind us. You know what? Let me put it in front so everybody can see. So let me do that. And
okay.
I'm gonna
There's a reason my voice is a little scratchy.
I'm gonna blow it up. Is that okay? So let me blow this up.
I blowed it up real good.
And so what we're about to watch is a minute long, and it's sort of like a what would you call it?
Recap. Just play the tape. Come on.
What do you mean? Nobody tells me what to do. Okay, here we go.
Got your first CD out. Now you're getting.
Let me turn it up a little bit.
Seasons, maybe some normalcy restored. The 2021 Horizon League Softball Championship, especially when it looks at the top of the standings, at the top of this tournament, in terms of victory for the 10th time, UIC getting it done. They did so against Oakland, which needed to win 2 games today. Marley Hanlon said that she would only need 1. Pitching all the way through, got this game started at UIC with a scoring sacrifice fly in the 2nd inning after 2 leadoff walks. Maddie Spinks and Micah Inglis coming around to score the game's first 2 runs. That was after they got out a couple of jams at UIC from Oakland. The Golden Grizzlies tried to rally down 2 going into their final at-bat. Cami Brummett, a 1-out solo shot, but then 2 batters later, off the bat of Jen Kriska, Maddie Spinks would squeeze it, and UIC, the celebration began for Marley Hanlon, who again was the postseason dominant pitcher for UIC. The Flames, for the 10th time in program history, win a Horizon League championship. Kayla Wadle was spectacular. Marley Hanlon was as well. Congratulations to UIC, champions in the Horizon League in 2021.
Come on, what else needs to be said, Steve?
That's my baby girl, number 24.
Now, I have a comparison. I know you're going to hate my comparison.
Bring it on.
All right. So I think Marley is very inspiring. And she reminds me of somebody me and you grew up watching who was also very inspiring. Now, I'm not comparing to the highest level that this person went to, but I'm comparing the work ethic, the way she's built, the way that she handles herself with her, not only combination of athletic ability, but, like the smartness of getting through these innings, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. She reminds me of a female Larry Bird.
Ah.
That
really, was my favorite basketball player.
Yeah.
Obviously,
she's not the fastest person on the planet. She might not even be the most athletic, but for her, she gets everything out of what she does. She uses her head up there. You can see in the pages. Like, I didn't get to see this full game, but all I did all week was hear about this. But even in the few pitches I saw, you could see they were setups. You could see that she was working around the plate, highs and lows. Fastballs, changing speeds, I guess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my comparison.
When she was we put her in town ball in Crown Point when she was 7, and I could just see how much she loved playing. But I also knew she was swimming in my gene pool. And speed and this and that, So after a year or two, got her a pitching coach. She started working on it, and it was a slow climb to the top. Elite would never be a word anyone would ever use, but out at Youngstown this past weekend, for the first time in her college career, she pitched 3 straight games, complete games, got the win. Mm-hmm. Now, I want to ask you this. The dog pile. Yeah. It looked like she pulled everyone on top of her.
I think everybody, they were jumping. She grabbed them while they're on their tippy toes and tried to pull them towards her in a hug, and it collapsed. But you know what? Look at the excitement. That's a great accomplishment. I never did that.
She did. By the way, she was named the Horizon League Tournament MVP.
Come on.
Highest honor she's ever received in the sports world, obviously. And she and her Flame teammates will be playing Missouri on Friday in the NCAA tournament. So it's very exciting.
Now, who are they playing?
Missouri.
Well, before we get there, talk a little bit about what she had to endure in this game. So I know, I was talking to my friend Joe. He was saying the first 2 innings and the last 2 innings were just amazing. So give me a little recap.
Well, first inning, I think she threw 6 pitches and the bases were loaded, 3 singles.
So like whap, whap, whap.
Yeah.
So the coach is over there going, "Oh my God."
Well, I think the backup catcher was in the bullpen warming up. Everybody was warming up, and Oakland's a great team. They have a very good team, but their cleanup hitter fouled off like 6-7 pitches, bases loaded, no outs. A couple of them were ropes down the left field line foul. And then Mar got one in on her hands, hit a chopper back to the circle. Marley picked it up, threw it home. Catcher Emma made a great turn, threw it to first for a double play.
Bam.
And then the next batter hit a pop-up to shortstop. So getting out of that was so big because you know how softball, baseball.
It changed the momentum of the game, yeah.
Yeah, so that was huge.
But, it seems like a thing like that got them sort of focused, like we're in it now. Like if we don't get out of this inning, we don't overcome what's in front of us here, it's going to be a long freaking game. And so like you can see like the focus sort of like hone in on that.
Yeah, no, it was very exciting. On Thursday they opened the tournament against Oakland, and Marley was amazing. The next day they played top seeded Youngstown State. She was pretty good. This game, the championship, she was on fumes, and it was just guts, heart and determination.
How many innings was she pitching in those other games?
7. Yeah.
So she pitched 21 innings.
Yeah, in 3 days.
Wow.
She had,
what pitcher does that?
Oh, there's the freaks, and I mean that positively.
Yeah.
But in the SEC, UCLA, teams like that have just elite pitchers, they do that stuff. But I have to give a tip of the cap to her teammates. The defense was unbelievably good in this tournament and timely hitting. This team, I think, has 15 underclassmen, and the sophomores only played a few games last year because of COVID.
Yeah.
So it's a very, very young team, and the regular season there were ups and downs. But it all came together this past weekend, and so now we go to Mizzou and
play number 15. They're the 15th. What seed are you guys?
No, that's their national ranking.
Oh,
we're not ranked, so they're the top seed. Missouri.
So how many teams are in this?
4. Yeah, and
that's it.
It's double elimination. It's the first round of the NCAA tournament.
You win that. What happens?
You go to the super.
See, I didn't know how it works.
It's super regional, and then from super regional, it's the College World Series in Oklahoma. So that's getting the cart way. We're a small school. It's going to be a tough test, but anything can happen.
Yeah, like come on, we were thinking. I mean, like we see it in the March Madness every year.
Yeah,
it takes one good inning, one good.
At bat, yeah.
Yep, one good at bat, one good pitcher. It looks like Marley's. I hope they're going to rest her. When's the game?
Friday
so
at 3:30.
To ice the arm a little bit and kick her feet up.
Yeah, no, she's been. They're giving her treatment and things like that.
And this girl deserves a full ride, a full freaking ride, and then Mercedes-Benz on the side. That's what she deserves. So
yeah, we will see what happens.
If you're going to give it to LeBron, let's not discriminate.
Yeah.
Come on.
But it was fun. It was exciting. I couldn't speak for 3 days after I was doing a little yelling, and it was.
Did you wear your mask the entire game?
We were forced to.
Were you really?
No.
No.
Okay. Ohio is a little like Indiana. We weren't playing spin the bottle. We were watching a game, and people were sitting far enough apart, so we followed the science. And
good.
Yeah, it was fun. So,
all right. In other news, I thought this was hilarious, and Steve brought this up to me. Do you guys remember when we had COVID? Anybody? We had a great leader in New York at the time.
Fantastic.
I mean, fabulous. Let me open this up a little more. His name was Governor Cuomo. And apparently he got $5 million for being the governor and writing a book on leadership.
Yeah, and you know how many he sold?
Tell me.
48,000. That sounds like a lot, But in a country with 350, 60 million people, 48,000 is nothing. I mean, this is why our system
Twitter
is...
bots.
Yeah, this is why our system is so corrupt. This clown...
He profited off the death
Yeah.
that he created
Yeah,
while he's squeezing everybody's butt. Right?
that's what my grandma told me.
Yeah, I mean, like, literally that went away. Did you notice that went away? Now, if that would have been anybody else, any GOP guy, any conservative else, they would, the mob would turn on them.
Yeah.
But
Well,
$5 million on a book that congratulates himself while he's killing off thousands of seniors in homes.
Governor, we just lost 10,000 people in a nursing home. Stop it. I'm on chapter 3.
Yes, the joke is on us on this one, I guess.
Leadership lessons, American crisis. What a clown. I mean, this guy...
It says, we know that his health department allowed 9,000 COVID positive patients back into the nursing homes, and then they lost over 15,000 seniors. And then here's his book, American Crisis, Leadership Lessons from COVID-19. And the COVID pandemic wasn't even over yet. That's insane, man.
And he's still in the mansion, the governor's mansion. Can you believe that?
I actually cannot believe that, but yeah, in this world I can believe it. But you remember we were talking about this before, like, remember all the celebrities that were like congratulating him? There's Ben Stiller, there was Robert De Niro, there was who was that chick comedian? She used to be
comedian.
Chick comedian.
That narrows it down.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, I forgot her name, man. Like, I'm blanking on it. But there was just all these celebrities that they actually brought on because I guess he did a live show like Trump did. You know how Trump...
I watched that last year a little bit.
Yeah. So he did like a live thing, and they would bring them on there to congratulate his leadership. Joy Behar, Happy Joy, I call her. Happy Joy. And, of course, GMA, Good Morning America.
Yeah. Well,
Crazy.
I think there was a guy on CNN that applauded him, too.
Really?
Yeah.
What was his name?
Cuomo.
And you know what's so funny about him, and people forget this, what is his actual first name? Do you remember his first name?
The guy on CNN?
Yeah.
No.
But so the Cuomo on CNN, we're talking about his brother. What they don't realize is that guy faked having COVID. Do you remember that? And
I don't know that for certain.
Yeah, it's a positive, true fact. He faked having COVID to get ratings during COVID and brought CNN cameras around his house. So it must run in the family, this thing like that. I mean, and nobody cares about that. That's what's so crazy.
That's why our system is so corrupt. This idiot, he's an idiot. That's the nicest word you can say. Made $5 million killing 15,000 people and grabbing 15,000 booties.
Cuomo's blood money. That's what they're calling it on the New York Post.
Yeah. Do you remember, Mark Twain didn't make $5 million. And that guy could frickin' write.
I don't... Well, I think, they're still talking about Trump right now. They're still trying to... I guess they've opened up a lawsuit against Trump Tower and his businesses in order to pummel this man into submission so he will not run again. And after this first 150
I will say
days,
this. Oh, go ahead.
After his first 150 days, Biden, I think people are praying for Trump. If he would just, so we don't like mean tweets, but I would rather have that economy, that president, that safety in the region. We forget all of his stuff that he did in the Middle East. We could just go on and on and on and on and on. African Americans were working more. Latinos were working more. Everybody was working more. It's insane. And now we have this mess at the border, which is all of that is a revision or pulling back on the policies that from the prior president.
I will say this: the Republican Party is in serious trouble if in 3 years all they have is Trump.
Well, I think.
I think it's President Biden.
There you go. Yeah, I think we got that DeSantis guy from Florida.
Yeah.
And
when I say we, I am not a Republican. Just to be clear, I'm more of a independent, and You know, the Republican Party bothers me just as much as the Democrats. It's just, it bothers me in a different way. So
yeah, I'm not even disagreeing with that. But it seems like every 4 years we have to learn. We We go back to, now we're in Jimmy Carter. This is exactly like we're heading towards Jimmy Carter again. But maybe we'll get a Reagan out of it. I don't know.
Do you realize how many times you've said "but" with Cuomo's picture on the screen? he's like, what?
Well, maybe it's subconscious. My hopes and dreams are around it. Should we keep moving? Let's get
Mr. Governor.
So, I mean, and here's the highlights of this column. Like, they're calling him that he has blood money. Where'd it go? It just disappeared.
Yeah.
Stop the bloodshed. I don't know. Like, here it is. Oh, right here. Anyway, who cares? It's a train wreck over there. Yeah. So how about this, man? We got some good news, and that is Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow. I don't know why they put this picture in his face, but anyway, Tim Tebow is joining the Jaguars. He finally decided that he's not going to hold his ground on principle to be a quarterback, and the Jaguars are going to make him a tight end. What do you think about that?
Very interesting. I will say this.
Hardworking kid.
Tebow might be the most hated sports figure in the last 10 years. The media hate him. Do you know why they hate him?
Yes, I do, but go ahead and tell me.
Because he's a Christian.
Yeah.
And, he was an unbelievable quarterback at Florida. Won the Heisman, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he did.
And then he struggled in the NFL. Had a couple okay seasons, but they attacked him. I have heard national media making fun of Tebow for the last week, but Deshaun Watson, who's got like 70 sexual assaults, nobody talks about him because he's in the right camp, where Tebow isn't.
African American, that's the camp.
Well, and it's he just we can't say anything because BLM might get in our face. But Tebow is open season. The guy, what he plays 6 years in the NFL, and then he tried baseball. The guy's a very good athlete. Was in the Mets organization for 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work out. I bet he has more money than a lot of pro athletes because he's not wasting it.
He ain't, like flipping the dollars at the old
strip club. Probably not. And his former college coach, Urban Meyer, is just became the coach in Jacksonville. So will he be on the team in September? I don't know, but he's a good guy.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't you want, you ever see some of the stuff he's done? Off the field. And why wouldn't you want that kind of model to be, that used to be the America we sort of liked. And then that became a thing you had to be rather than be it. But he's the real deal, man. He speaks, he's positive, he does lots in the community. And then you got on the other hand, like what I see of them now is like they're making a comparison to, why does this white guy get to come back but Colin Kaepernick can't come back? So that's all I've heard about for the last 2 days. What's your opinion on that?
Well, here's what the NBA is learning right now. If the people on and let's be honest, sports is insane in the United States. People love athletics. But if one of the stars on your team is saying things that angers half the population or maybe more, and they do it in a way that's very, they're multi-millionaires. Most people are rolling nickels to go see a game, and then they get talked down to by stars.
Yep.
The NBA's ratings are so low. And it's like, I understood Colin Kaepernick's, what he was saying. Was it 5 years ago?
I don't know. It seems like a million.
I know. Yeah. But I understood. There were shootings happening. He just went about it the wrong way, in my opinion.
Wrong platform, wrong way.
Right. And now he's become like the savior. Every sports media just loves the guy. He has made comments about the United States that really are offensive to me.
Yeah.
And I can say that and still say he's right about some of these police shootings. There's too many of them. They have to stop. The video of the guy in North Carolina, Brown is his last name, that finally came out. I finally saw it yesterday. He was gunned down. There's no way they should have shot that guy. No way at all. He got in his car and drove away. There was one police officer standing in front of him. The cop moved. There was no reason to just start shooting at a guy. That's just my opinion. Let the guy get away, calm down, find him, arrest him. Did the guy have problems? Yes. But I remember this happened a month ago.
So I mean, I don't want to rehash. I mean, we're rehashing the past, but we know what Colin Kaepernick did. But I agree with you that he went about it the wrong way. He took it. He got the national exposure that he wanted, but he paid the price for it. And now we see overall sports are paying the price for it. And a lot of these guys,
but
we were talking about this prior to this podcast, which is a lot of these guys are great athletes. A lot of them, let's just be honest, if you've ever played sports, and I know anybody listening is going to smile when I say this, sometimes we get the kids and change the grades and move them forward because their talent isn't going to be running for office. It's not going to be a math scientist or whatever. This is their sport. They got to make their money. Why should we stop them to get there? And that's understandable to a degree, but they're not heavy thinkers. And
I'm going to say that's too broad of a statement. I think there are some that are that way. To the way you said that, it's like all of them are. I will not say that, but there are some dummies that are.
Well, I don't think I'm not saying all of them, but I'm saying 90%.
Okay, so, I won't go that high at all.
I'm willing to go that far. They're not over there pondering the nuances of the Israel-Palestine crisis. They're just reacting and whatever. So I'm not saying you can't put the right people around you to help you with what you're doing. In essence, that's some street smarts, and that seems right. But when it comes out to these political issues, they don't understand the nuances. They're just reacting from feelings and observation that they only see. Instead of seeing the big picture, they don't look at the statistics. They're not looking at the overall picture. They're just looking at this thing that's presented in front of them, and therefore they don't have a broad perspective.
Well,
and I would even say to mostly a degree like an intellectual perspective.
Most of them live in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
Everyone says the same thing, so they just keep repeating it, whether it's true or false. But just so you said that Kaepernick's paying a price, I think he made over $50 million with the 49ers. It's somewhere in that ballpark.
So you're not feeling that bad.
Well, but Nike just put him on the cross and made him the savior and gave him several $1 million to be their spokesman. Mm-hmm. Why? Because he hates America. And that is a corrupt system.
Absolutely.
Do I think Kaepernick should be playing in the NFL? Yeah, I do. I think that what happened to him was wrong. And I've been a Bears fan where I'd love to have seen him instead of Mitchie behind center. So, but there are consequences for actions, words, deeds.
So do you think, let's say the Bears hire him, do you think the Bears people would have liked that? You think the Bears would have paid
after
the price
watching Mitch Trubisky for 4 years? Yeah.
No, I don't, man. I think that would have turned off just that. It was such a hot issue. Whether you believe in it or not, whether you're opposed to it or you're for him, you put him out there. You just isolated half of your audience again.
Well, I blame.
I would have stopped. I would have not watched one thing.
That's you, but I blame President Trump for making the Kaepernick thing so big. In a speech, the President of the United States called Kaepernick a son of a bitch. It's the first time in my life the president called a fellow citizen that kind of language. Mm-hmm. That's what bothered me about Trump. He'd get going in one of his rallies and he'd get off script and just start firing. At first it was funny, And, oh, wow, this is new, but you can't have the president calling someone he disagrees with a son of a bitch. It's just me.
So that's the issue.
No, it's part of the issue.
See, I totally disagree with that.
Well, that fired up his base, which is millions, and then the NFL thing got bigger.
That story, see, we have short-term memory on this stuff. That story was something that the ESPN and all these things, and Fox and, you know, the right-wing media and even the left-wing, they were, so you have on one hand, the left-wing media is pushing him out there every weekend in the stuff that he's saying after his press conference, after his games, and then you have the right-wing using it for their benefit to do the same thing.
All right.
So that put the political stuff out there. It was still Kaepernick that's responsible for that message. It was his actions that led to that. Now, do I agree?
He went down to a knee and bowed his head during the anthem.
It became a
protest.
political thing.
I know.
Yeah, it became a political issue.
Right. But there were a lot of...
I don't blame it on Trump. I mean, should he have said that? Probably not. But
I think that made it a national story. Up until that point, it wasn't. And this was interesting because I was teaching at a school in Hammond where the it was like half Hispanic, half black, the students, right there. And we read a couple articles about the Kaepernick situation, and then I had the kids write whether they felt what he did was right or wrong.
Yeah.
Okay? 60% of the students felt what Kaepernick did was wrong. You know why? Because they had family that were in the military.
Wow.
It shocked me. I didn't think it would be that high because
that was another side issue of that whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah, the military did get lumped into it. So, I think Kaepernick.
That's sort of cool. That's sort of
no,
cool,
it was, and I talked with some of the kids and listened to their reasoning for, and they said, my cousin, my brother is in the military. I don't want him being shamed or booed or,
And that's like a whole other issue now with what's going on there. Let's keep moving, though. Let's keep moving. How about this fun little gem? Jeffrey Epstein. Do you know who Jeffrey Epstein is, people? Jeffrey Epstein is the guy that got caught on Pedophile Island. And
he owned Pedophile Island.
He owned Pedophile Island.
What a pig.
Bringing leaders from countries, I mean, who knows how in-depth it was. And there was a big thing on Netflix about Epstein. I'd say watch that. I mean, you're talking
watch it and then take a shower because this guy is
thousands of poor, beautiful girls being just abused by this guy for the sake of their pleasure and just for a little bit of money.
And do you think there's a problem with our system? This guy was worth how many billion? And he's just abusing young. I mean, people, the system has to change.
You think?
Everybody knew this guy was a pig, and they just let it go.
It's sort of like that dude from Hollywood. I can't remember his name, but everybody knew that was going on too. He finally got caught. Well, this guy got killed. But
you're saying he didn't commit suicide?
Yeah. I think somebody got paid off heavily to get rid of that dude.
Suddenly the camera goes off in the room?
It happens, Steve. It happens. So apparently Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Gates were buddies, and it said that he's been out there like 3 or 4 times. And, of course, this is being exposed by his now wife.
Ex-wife.
But that's a picture right there is the picture you don't want. Right? It's like, oh my gosh.
And Bill Gates wants us to stop eating cheeseburgers.
Yeah. And, I don't even know what to say about it. But, so everybody's had marital issues. In other words, you don't always get along. But I'm not sure if this is the guy you go to for advice. Hey, Jeffrey, how's your marriage? It's like, oh, my gosh.
Let's just look at that picture for 5 seconds. Breathe it in.
I can't drink anymore, Steve. Can't drink that in anymore.
Jeff, can I lay on your couch? I want to speak to you about some things. What do you think of your mother? Yeah.
Well, why don't we bring in the massage people while we're talking? The bonus plan.
Mrs. Gates or whatever, she's getting how many billions in the settlement? And she's still firing?
Well, until that money's in the account, you got to fire, bro. You know?
Oh, man.
That's crazy, but this is not.
But they're still friends.
Are they?
They're divorcing, but they're very amicable.
Yeah.
Their relationship.
Well, I don't see Bill firing back. Do you? Like, he just probably wants this all to go away, but like, I don't see like his side of it.
He'll be running the education system within a year if he isn't already, and it's just our system is so obscene.
It's brutal, man.
Melinda.
That's his wife right there.
Okay.
Either that or it's Tiny Tim.
Tiptoe through the tulips. Holy cow.
So, I don't know.
He must have been a looker in the 80s, huh?
It's somewhere back there. Well, maybe she helped him steal all the stuff from Apple on that one lonely night back in the day.
Thieves are running our economy.
Oh, yeah.
Just thieves.
This dude literally stole from Apple the DOS system. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
It's another topic.
It's another topic.
Another day.
Should we keep going, Steve, or you want to end it?
This is free flow, talk to talk. We're not going to do the douche of the week and some of the other stuff we normally do.
So this is a serious one, and we'll do this last one and get done with it.
Okay.
So here's the Supreme Court. I don't know. This is on CNN if you don't believe me, because we don't just make it up. The Supreme Court takes up a major abortion case out of Mississippi that could decide to put term limits on abortion, basically down nothing over 15 weeks can be aborted. And of course, that most people don't even know they're pregnant after 15 weeks. So this is a great law, in my opinion. And but I think they're going to get into child viability, and so that's going to become a technological issue. What makes a child viable? Too bad that it's not the child itself, but this is going to happen probably next year. So this case has been accepted by the Supreme Court, man.
I'm pro-choice. Make a choice before you get on your ass. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
This has become birth control, ripping a fetus, a human living creature,
Selling its parts.
It's just, I mean, I believe in a judgment day, and believe me, I'm worried about my own, what I'm going to say or what I'm going to be asked. So I'm not pointing fingers that aren't pointing back at me. But when you spent your whole life as a doctor, as a politician, as a cultural spokesman, saying how great abortion is, what are you going to say to the big guy? What are you going to say?
Well, I think that's the issue, Steve. Behind this is a belief that there is no God, and therefore that thing is just an animal. And, I mean, they keep making these unscientific... I mean, we have lived through COVID where we see one unscientific claim after another, and like even with the mask mandate being pulled off, there was no new science to do that. They just decided to do it because, well, there's a war going on, and all this other stuff is going on. It's just in our country, gas and all this, the pipelines and all these people getting laid off and blah, blah, blah. And they had a bad employment number. So they always got to do something. So in this case, they didn't start a war. They pull off the mask, but there's no new science. But what's crazy about this is the science is there for pro-choice, right? Is that right? Yeah. We're pro-child.
Pro-life.
Pro-life, sorry. Not pro-choice. Yeah. Pro-life. The science is there. The viability of the child is there. That is not just a fetus. It's a kid that's going to grow up to be like you and me. It's just in a different stage of life at the moment. And I don't even understand why this is an issue. And I think what you said at the beginning of this thing is probably the number one thing that needs to be said. That's the real issue.
Which is?
You need to be get off your ass and stop screwing everything that moves, and take some responsibility for your life.
Well, the pop culture education just tells you, go to Waffle House, get a waffle, and then bang the waitress. You don't need to know her name. The movies, music,
yep.
It's just, and there was a time in our country when people used their mind instead of their midsection. I'm not saying everyone waited till they were married to have sex. I'm not saying that. But more people did.
Well, they were at least this wasn't an option. This wasn't a thing to fall back on in case something happened. And I don't think, I don't know, the sexuality between human beings has always been there. It's been used to get what you want. It's been used to get this person to that person. But now, like, I don't even think that's a thing anymore. It's just sort of like out there. It's okay. There's no consequences for anything. And therefore, everything's viable except the baby.
Right.
And they're going to blame it on conservative justices, which I think you can make an argument that some of these conservative justices have leaned towards the other side. But in real reality, like, this is awful. This is worse than slavery in our country. This is a worse blemish in our history than slavery or anything else that our country's been, quote, done or doing. And hopefully, like slavery, we'll abolish it, we'll correct it, and we'll repent for it, and we'll allow those people that didn't see it the right way the first time, they can do all of those things themselves, and we'll come to a self-correction on this. And so that's my hope for it.
Yeah. I remember
there's nothing good about this.
I remembered when Mother Teresa passed away, and she was an anti-abortionist. She thought it was just one of the greatest sins in human history.
Oh, what does she know?
The Nazis,
she never had sex. Go ahead.
Well, as far as we know. But, Hillary Clinton went to her funeral. And I was waiting for her to turn over in the casket, because Hillary has been a big supporter of abortion her whole career. Until
she wasn't, she just flips anything you want. Yep, go ahead.
She has been in favor of abortion. No rules. Nothing.
I just watched when Obama and Biden were running. So that first time they were running, I forgot what year that is, but go back 12 years or whatever. Him do a speech on both him and Obama were anti-gay and anti-abortion.
Anti-gay marriage.
Marriage, yeah.
They weren't anti-gay.
Yeah, gay marriage, you're right, thank you. And anti-abortion. I listened to the speech, and what changed? Just the infection of an education on a different generation.
Yeah.
That's what's changed.
Well, I am going to have my own things to question or to be worried about on Judgment Day, but these people who have these doctors, hundreds of thousands, what are you going to say, man?
Go read the book about Gosnell. Dr. Gosnell. You won't even find it on Google. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
that Jersey doctor that had an abortion. It's one of the most horrific things. They tried to make it a movie, and Hollywood banned it. Dean Cain, I think, was in that movie. But go read the book about a detective going through what that was. It's the most horror. You would think if it didn't say America, you would think you were in Nazi Germany, and it was what was that Dr. Mangala or whatever his name? You would think it was that. Yeah. And this is not a irregular occurrence. This is anyway.
Well, and I just want to say, because I've seen several women who found God and asked forgiveness after an abortion. My problem is with the system that tells people it's okay.
Me too. I agree with that.
If you've had an abortion, I am not throwing stones at you at all. It's the system that tells you it's okay. I've seen more than a couple women get up and who had an abortion when they were young talk about how they think of that child every day for the rest of their lives.
Yes, me too. And the lady Roe, she's a Christian, and she's repented, and she regrets the thing that she's done. And you'll never hear that in the media too. And I think I'm really glad you said that, because I've sat through church services where the right heart to condemn this systematic act, or this, whether it be through education or the system itself or politically, has been condoned, and rightly so. But we forget that there's people out there that made mistakes, and they get that grace that God gives us for all of it. I mean, I've made a ton of mistakes, not like Steve. but I made some mistakes, and thank God. Wash your hands. But God, I think we forget in this country that God's grace is a great principle to help us love each other, forgive each other, and move on. All right, let's get out of here. I know there's a downer to end on, but it is what it is.
Let's raise the spectrum.
Let's raise a toast to old Marley, who deserves a Mercedes and a full scholarship. Good job, Marley. We're proud of you. Hey, thank you guys for listening. Go to YouTube, go to Facebook, like us, subscribe, share this, and thank you for Steve for your insight. We are out of here. And
one last thought.
Yes.
Junction 715 is not from the South.
Oh, God, yeah. And to you woke country people, we love you.
Woo, doggy.
Bye-bye now.